You sit there scrolling or staring blankly at the TV, feeling like you have nothing to do. You're bored. But as a psychiatrist, I can tell you that feeling isn't an absence. It's an active defense mechanism. Heavy, restless boredom can be a wall that your mind builds to block a painful or unpleasant emotion. Today, let's look behind that wall. I'm Dr. Stephen Reidbord, a longtime psychiatrist and psychiatric educator, and this is More Than Meds. Boredom isn't an absence of interest, it's a kind of repression, a kind of jamming signal your brain broadcasts to drown out a forbidden emotion. This isn't my idea, by the way, although Freud himself didn't write about boredom, some of his followers did. In 1934, Otto Fennekel wrote that boredom is a state of dammed up instinctual tension that functions to keep wishes and associated feelings out of awareness. Later, Donald Winnicott wrote about the true self, our genuine nature, versus a false self that we build as a kind of defense mechanism to get along with others or to make ourselves acceptable. Winnicott said that this false self feels bored, empty, dead, or phony inside. Ralph Greenson, an analyst that I've mentioned in a couple of recent videos, in 1953 reaffirmed some of Fennekel's ideas and said that boredom is a repression of desire and fantasy. Contemporary writers echo this too. The analyst Adam Phillips frames boredom as a defense against waiting, against acknowledging desire. So theorists over the past century seem to agree. Feeling bored means you're hiding something from yourself. It's a kind of self-protection. Let's look at some ways this shows up. Doom scrolling. You feel a frantic need to consume content, but it's not satisfying. You scroll for hours, but you feel empty, not entertained. This isn't a need for stimulation. This is a withdrawal of emotional investment. Your mind has withdrawn energy from the real world because the real world feels too threatening or disappointing. The scrolling maintains a low-level buzz of distraction, so you don't have to face your own disengagement from life. Hiding in fantasy life. You're bored in real life, but you have an active fantasy life where you're powerful and admired, and it's exciting. This suggests your boredom is actually inhibited aggression or desire. You have intense drives to be powerful or to be loved or to have thrills, but you've learned that expressing that in reality can be dangerous. So you repress the desire in the real world, which feels like boredom, and you displace it safely into fantasy. Boredom is the price you pay for safety. Dreading free time. You're fine when you're busy, say when you're at work, but the moment you have some free time, unstructured time, you feel boredom that verges on anxiety. In this case, work provides an external structure that holds you together, but when that structure vanishes, you're left alone with your own world of thoughts and feelings and memories. And if that world is critical or painful, your mind puts up a wall of boredom to insulate you. Feeling bored is a way to avoid being alone with yourself. I don't know what I want. When asked what you want to do or eat or watch, you just don't know. You have no preference. Your mind goes blank. You're bored. This is a defense against interpersonal conflict. At some point, probably back in childhood, your strong preference or desire caused a conflict with a parent or other important person in your life. To preserve the relationship, you learned to kill your desires even before they became conscious. The result is a flat line of I don't care, a protective, bored numbness. If you recognize yourself in any of these scenes, you may be feeling a little bit exposed right now. That's perfectly normal. In psychotherapy, the moment we stop calling it boredom and start calling it a defense is when the real work begins. So I'll end with an example straight out of therapy itself. Nothing to talk about. Your weekly therapy sessions usually feel useful and are lively, but today you walk in and you really have nothing to talk about. There's nothing on your mind. Your mind is blank. There may be an awkward silence. As you desperately try to review your week in your mind, you only recall it as boring. Nothing really happened. In my experience, these can be the best sessions of all. Why? Because something big and important is being repressed, avoided. The blankness and boredom are a defense. If my patient can entertain the possibility that it is a defense, we often get to something troubling or unpleasant that's been eating away at them. Frankly, that's a lot more useful than a rehearsed, conscious, untroubled report of how their week went. Maybe you can think of other ways that feeling bored is a wall that blocks unpleasant emotions. Looking behind that wall is what depth psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, psychodynamic psychotherapy like I practice, what they're all about. For more on this kind of treatment, I have a playlist of videos for you to check out. Please like this video if you like it, and please subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments, please put them below, and I'll see you next time.